Hello everyone. Today I'm going to cover the topic of how to set up OpenWrt router in 5 best modes. These are the 5 modes that I'm going to cover today. Standard router, access point, hotspot router, wireless repeater, and USB tethering. In standard router mode, as we know, we all have ISP routers and they don't have a lot of features, so we will use ISP router's LAN port, connect it with the WAN port of OpenWrt router, make OpenWrt router our main router so that all the devices using LAN or Wi-Fi can connect with OpenWrt router directly. This will allow us to use all the features that ISP routers don't provide. For example, full control over DHCP, full control over firewall, VLANs, DNS, AdGuard, etc. etc. It depends which all services you want to use. But basically, it will allow you to use all features of OpenWrt. And don't worry, it works just fine. I've been using my router this way since a very long time, maybe around 3-4 years. You can also set up your ISP router in bridge mode if your ISP provider allows you to do that, and then set up PPPoE with username and password. In this way, your ISP router will just be a brick and everything will be handled by OpenWrt router. ISP router will only be a fiber to LAN converter or something like that. The second option that we have is access point. In this mode, you can extend your existing ISP router connection using LAN cable. Existing ISP router connection or existing router connection, it doesn't matter. Even if you have a main OpenWrt router and you want to extend it, you can use this access point option and extend its capabilities using a LAN cable. Third option is hotspot router. A lot of people have asked about it. In this mode, you can basically enable your phone's hotspot Wi-Fi. Then your OpenWrt router will connect with phone's Wi-Fi hotspot, and then it will create LAN and Wi-Fi connectivity for other devices. Mode 4 is wireless repeater. This is basically an access point without Ethernet. So if you cannot run a LAN cable, you can put a router in between, an OpenWrt router. It will extend your existing ISP router's connectivity. So basically, OpenWrt router will connect with the Wi-Fi of your main router. Then it will create a Wi-Fi SSID, maybe the same SSID or a different SSID depending on your choice, and then you can connect your LAN and Wi-Fi devices to OpenWrt router, and everything like DHCP and firewall will be handled by your main router. It can be your ISP router or another OpenWrt router. Fifth mode is USB tethering. So this is only available if you have a USB port in your OpenWrt router. If you have USB port, then you can use either your iPhone or Android, connect them with USB cable, and OpenWrt router becomes main router, and your LAN and Wi-Fi devices can connect with the OpenWrt router, and your phone's internet will be used. So this comes in handy if you have unlimited 5G plan or something like that. Now let's get started with the first mode, that is standard router mode. If you have flashed your OpenWrt router, then this is the mode your OpenWrt router comes with. If I take you to network interfaces, you can see that this is the local area connection, which is LAN. local area network 192.168.1.1, and WAN is DHCP client. So all you have to do is connect the LAN port of your ISP router to WAN port of your OpenWrt router. But it's just one thing that you have to make sure is that your existing ISP router doesn't have this IP address. For example, in my case, I have Airtel fiber connection, and the existing ISP router IP address is 192.168.1.1. If yours is not 192.168.1.1, then you can simply plug in the LAN cable into the WAN port and you're good to go. All basic features, all basic firewall and everything, it's already there. All you have to do is just connect the cable. But if your existing ISP router has this IP address, then you have to change this. Let me show you how to change it. So I'll click on edit on LAN. First I'm gonna go ahead and delete this and then type 192.168. I can choose 2. You can choose 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 100, doesn't matter. .124. So 192.168.2.1. You are not supposed to choose gateway because gateway will be your WAN port gateway. So click on save. Now before you apply, what you need to do is, let me show you. So this is the router. You can see the WAN port and the LAN ports, and this is the LAN cable that's coming from ISP router. So I will connect it with the WAN port, and then I'll come here and save and apply, and then I'll open a new tab, type 192.168.2.1, enter, and it's loading. Now you can close this one. Configuration changes applied. Login, and here we go. If we go to interfaces, you can see that my WAN connection is showing 192.168.1.5 because the router is 1.1, and this OpenWrt router is changed to 2.1. So now everything in your router, in your OpenWrt, anything that you will connect will have IP address of 192.168.2.x. Okay, and this is all you have to do to set up your router in router mode. If in case you have your ISP router in bridge mode, then you need to set up WAN port in PPPoE. So you can click on edit and choose protocol to PPPoE, switch protocol, username here, password here, concentrator if your ISP provides you, MAC address if your ISP binds their existing router with MAC address, so you can just copy and paste their MAC address here, service name if your ISP provides you, and then save and apply. But since I don't have PPPoE connection as of now, I am not going to apply it because it doesn't make any sense. You can do the same in IPv6 if your ISP provides IPv6. So I'll just go ahead and revert these changes. Alright, now let's go ahead and set up the router in the second mode, that is access point mode. In this mode, we are going to connect ISP router's LAN cable or OpenWrt LAN port with the LAN port of OpenWrt router. So only the LAN port will be used using an Ethernet cable. I hope you understand what I mean. So follow this instruction very carefully, because a lot of people make mistake here and end up making a mess, and they again have to reset the router. It's very simple if you understand this. I just reset this to 1.1 here, 192.168.1.1. Now, few things that I like to do before setting the router as access point is I delete WAN interfaces, because you no longer need these interfaces. But don't worry, in future if you need these interfaces, all you have to do is just reset your OpenWrt router and these interfaces will be back again. So click on save and apply after deleting WAN and WAN 6. So less things to worry about, less thing to care about. Okay, click on edit on LAN interface. Now this is the IP address of my router, so I'm going to delete this. Now go ahead and type in the IP address that you want for this router. So for example, in my case 192.168.1. And let me use 6. If you want, you can choose any number after 1. It can be 250, it can be 20, and 24 is the mask, and gateway is going to be the router's IP address, your primary or ISP router's IP address. So in my case it's 192.168.1.1. Now if you see here, it is giving me a red alert. Why? Because this is how OpenWrt works. So to fix this, what we'll do is we'll click on this protocol static address, click on DHCP client, switch protocol, then again click on DHCP client, static address, switch protocol. Now we can go ahead and give it an IP address 192.168.1.20. Net mask is 255.255.255.0. IP address of the router 192.168.1.1, and save. I'm sorry, forgot few things here. Again click on edit, go to advanced. You don't have to do anything in advance. Go to firewall and remove this from LAN firewall. Click on unspecified. Next, DHCP server. So in general setup, ignore interface. In IPv4, DHCP v4 services disabled, IPv6 RA services disabled, DHCP v6 services disabled, and NDP proxy disabled, which is already disabled. Now save and save again. Now don't save and apply as of yet. Click on system and go to startup, because sometimes OpenWrt is running its own DNS mask and firewall, and these things create problem. So what we'll do is disable these services. Look carefully. DNS mask, it shows enabled. Click on disable. Firewall, disable it, and ODHCPD, disable it. Now after disabling, go to very right and click on stop. Again on firewall, stop. DNS mask, stop. Now click on the unsaved changes. Before you click on save and apply, you need to plug in the cable that's coming from your ISP or main router into any of these LAN ports. Not the WAN port, don't plug it in the WAN port, only in the LAN port. So I'll plug it in the LAN port 1, and then I'll click and save apply. Save apply checked. Now I believe the IP address that we chose is 192.168.1.20, and here it is loading. Now you can close this one. Applied. So now if you can see, your OpenWrt router is working as access point. No firewall is running, no DHCP is running. It is simply routing everything from your main router. Now you can go to wireless and you can set up a new SSID or existing SSID of your ISP, same password and everything, and put this router somewhere far using a LAN cable, and you have eventually created an access point, a dumb AP, and you are going to extend your network this way. Alright, so I reset the router again, and let's set up this router in hotspot router mode. For this, what we need to do is log in into our OpenWrt router, no disable. Now the first thing that I'd like to do is remove unnecessary WAN connections, WAN interfaces. So let me clean them up. Okay, now we'll go to wireless, and so there are two options that you can use. The first is 2.4 gigahertz, the second is 5 gigahertz. If you're using an iPhone like me, let me disable this. Okay, so if you're using an iPhone, if you keep this hotspot mode in compatibility, maximize compatibility, then your hotspot will run in 2.4 gigahertz mode. But for this test, I'm going to disable this, so the hotspot will run in 5 gigahertz mode. Now let's enable this, turn on Wi-Fi. Okay, I'll put it here. Now let me click on scan. Okay, it is still not showing. Let me go ahead and disable it. Let me enable it back again. Okay, here you can see RK iPhone 17, join network. The password is ABCD at 1234. So whatever password you have set here, I hope you know how to use hotspot obviously. So this is the password that we set here. That's the password we'll put in here. Now create assign firewall zone, so you can put it in WAN. You can rename the interface if you want to. So I'll put it iOS hotspot, then submit. Network is iOS hotspot. There's nothing here you need to do. It will automatically select the mode, channel and width depending on your uh, hotspot. So even though my router supports AX, but since the hotspot is running on AC mode, so it's going to select AC mode. It'll automatically select channel and everything. All you have to do is just click on save. Now save and apply. Alright, so here you can see my phone is connected as client. If we go to network, we can see iOS hotspot is in WAN zone, and this is the LAN zone. Now let me go ahead and check if internet is working. Speed test. Yes, it's working. Geo 5G is not good in my area. So yeah, it's working. Now I reset this router again, and let's go ahead and set up this router in wireless repeater mode or wireless extender mode. Now be sure to follow these instructions very carefully, because if you make any mistakes, then you will have to reset your router again. The first thing you need to do is go to network interfaces, delete these unnecessary interfaces, we don't need these, save and apply. Next we need to click on edit for this LAN network, and we have to change this IP address. So because my router's IP address is same, so I'm gonna have to change it. You can also change it. Even if your router doesn't match, you can change it. 192.168.2.1 is the one I'm going to use by 24. Now click on firewall. Firewall is going to be LAN. DHCP server, ignore DHCP. IPv4 disabled. RA service disabled. DHCP disabled. And save. Now let's go ahead and save and apply. Now you're gonna have to set this IP address manually, so right click on Ethernet, properties, IPv4, and 192.168.2.2, 192.168.2.1. OK, and close. Now here 192.168.2.1, enter. And you can see configurations have applied. Now, so basically what we are doing is we are not using this router's DHCP server. So we'll go to startup and DNS mask, disable firewall. Let's leave firewall as it is. DHCPD, ODHCPD disable. Again, stop and stop. Now let's go back to wireless, and here click on scan. I'm using 5 gigahertz. You can use 2.4 gigahertz also for longer distance coverage. If your main router is very far, then you must use 2.4 gigahertz, because 2.4 gigahertz can penetrate walls very easily and can cover more areas. But if your router 5 gigahertz connectivity is good, then you can connect with 5 gigahertz. So let me go ahead and click on scan. Now this is the AP that I created for testing, so I'll connect with this. Password ABCD at 9876. Yes. Here we can rename it if you want to. Now assign a firewall zone. This needs to be assigned to LAN because we are not going to use WAN. For extender you need to use LAN firewall. Click on submit. Everything else is same. It will automatically select the mode, the channel width. Now just click on save. and save and apply. Now as you can see, it's connected. Now we'll go to interface. Now even though if it is connected, first we'll check if it's connected. We'll go to diagnostics, network diagnostics, and we'll run an IPv4 ping test. So you can see it's pinging, that means it's connected. Now we need to download a package. So we'll go to software, update package list, and we'll search for relay, RELAYD. Now you need to install this Lucy Proto Relay because this will install this one also. So click on install. You can see that it will install this because it's not installed. Click on install, dismiss. Now both of these are installed. Now you need to go ahead and reboot the router. Alright, here we are after reboot. Let's go ahead and log in. Now the next thing I like to do is go to firewall and delete this WAN firewall. We don't need it. Save and apply. Now let's go to interface and let's create what you can do is you can set this extender to a static IP address. As you can see right now it is DHCP client, so you can switch it to static IP so that in future you can log in. So I'll put it at 192.168.1.8 because it is already selected, so I'll just make it permanent. 24, so 255.255.255.0, gateway 192.168.1.1, and we'll go to advanced, and in DNS we'll put 192.168.1.1 routers IP, and additional DNS you can set like Cloudflare. Firewall LAN DHCP is not running on this. Save and apply. Alright, so as you can see the network device is not present after applying the settings. Let's go to diagnostics and check if we can ping OpenWrt. We cannot. So let's go to wireless and let's disable this extender and let's enable it back again. Sometimes when you apply these settings this happens, but you have to do it just once. You don't have to do it all the time. So after enable, let's go to network interface, and here we go. As you can see, it's working, it's connected. Now let's go back to diagnostics again and check if we can ping openwrt.org. Yes, we can. Let's go back to interface, add new interface, and here we can just name anything bridge Wi-Fi because we are going to bridge it. This is going to be bridge relay bridge and create. Now here we are going to use the static IP of the Wi-Fi extender that we used. So 192.168.1.8 and relay between networks, LAN and Wi-Fi extender. Done. Save and apply. Now once you do this, you can go back, properties, IPv4 properties, opt-in automatically, OK, close. And then if you right click and click on status, you can see that now it's getting the IP address from the router, from the main router. So 192.168.1.1 is the main router gateway, and main router's gateway is assigning these DHCP IP addresses. So let's go ahead and check if the internet is working. Alright, yes, so internet is working. Let me go ahead and click on go. And you can see that it's working. So it's getting IP address from the main router, and it's relaying those IP address using this relay bridge to LAN. Now if we go to wireless and same SSID, if you want to extend the same SSID, you can use the same SSID in this one. Okay, so the SSID is Airtel extend test, and this is going to be LAN encryption WPA to PSK, and key is ABCD because we are going to use the same key, and save. Now save and apply. And then enable. Okay, even though both of the routers are nearby, I'm gonna try and connect. Yeah, here you can see my phone is connected here. Airtel extend test, but this one is connected with this router, OpenWrt. So this is how you can extend your existing SSID. Alright, I'm back again after resetting the router. Now let's go ahead and set up this router in USB tethering mode. For this, you make sure that you have USB port in your router. For example, I have this router and you can see that there's a USB port. So the first thing that you need to do is connect this router with internet. So either you can connect the WAN port with your existing ISP router, so you can follow the step for the one where we set up the router in router mode, or you can connect this router with your hotspot router, with your phone's hotspot, because we need to download some packages in this to make this work. So let me go ahead and quickly connect this with hotspot. I will go ahead and enable hotspot in my router, in my phone, I'm so sorry. Okay, so if you can see here, this is my phone. I'll enable it, turn on Wi-Fi. Compatibility mode is off, so my Wi-Fi is available, hotspot Wi-Fi is available on 5 gigahertz. I'll click on scan or for 5 gigahertz, and here is the network RK iPhone 17. I'll put in the password ABCD at 1234. It's very simple because you don't share password with a lot of people. And save. So if I go ahead and save and apply, here you can see that it's getting connected, and pretty soon we'll have, right here, client mode connected, RK iPhone 17. We'll go to interface and we'll be able to see a network with the name of WWWAN. As always, I like to disable these features, these interfaces, because they are here unnecessarily. Now, first thing we need to do is go to network diagnostics and check if openwrt.org is pinging, so we can ping it. It's working fine. 5 packets received, 0 loss. So let's go to software, update software list. Now here are a few software lists that you can see. For Android you need these 2 packages. For iOS you need these 3 packages. So I'll copy first package name from here. Update is successful. You can see OK here. Dismiss. Now I'll paste the first name. This is the one. It enables kernel support for Apple iPhone USB Ethernet driver. So let's install it. Next is Libby mobile device. So copy this. It's basically the driver, I believe. This one is OK. Dismiss. Now paste this. Here it is. Let's install. And the third one is USB Mux D. This one is done. Dismiss. Now paste this one and install. It's done. Now we'll go ahead and reboot the router. Alright, so here we are after rebooting the router. Let me log in and let's go to network. Now let's go to devices and check the list of your devices that you have in your router. So I have BR LAN, LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3, LAN 4, WAN, ETH0, PHY1-STA0. Now what I need to do is I need to connect this phone. Let me first disable the hotspot, make sure that the Wi-Fi is disabled too, and let's go back to hotspot. Now let me go ahead and get my iPhone cable. So these days a lot of phones are coming with these USB Type-C cables. Most of them are actually. So if you have a USB-C to USB-A cable, then you are good to go. But if you don't, then you can get one of these adapters. Let me show you. So it has USB female on one side and USB-A male on the other side, so you can just plug in the Type-C cable like this, and this will go in this USB port of the router, and then we'll connect this side here. Now if you enable so first you need to click on this trust. Once you connect this, you will get this here that trust this computer. So click on trust, type in your passcode. So let me go ahead and do that. Now after typing your passcode, you need to click on join network, and this time select USB Bluetooth only. Now as soon as you do that, if you go ahead and refresh this page, you'll be able to see a new device. So in my case, if I show you, this is the one that we got. This is ETH1. Depending on your hardware, if you're using Android or if you're using another router, you may get something like USB 0 or USB 1 or ETH2 or anything else. So just make sure that you see the list first and then compare the changes, that which one is the which new device that you have got here. I have got ETH1, so what I'll do is we'll go to interface, click on add new interface, and this is iOS Tether. It's going to be DHCP client, then device, and we will select ETH1. Create interface, and then firewall we will select as WAN. Save. And now you can delete this WAN because you don't need the hotspot, but if you want to keep it as it is, you can do that too, no problem. But let me go ahead and delete that for this video and save and apply. No, let me close this. You can see we've got an IP address and RX and TX packets are coming in. So let me go ahead and check speed test if it's working. Yes, it's working. My computer is automatically getting an IP address. Let me check that also. So this is the IP address that OpenWrt is sharing, because this is working as a router. So every device that you will connect will get this IP address. You cannot use USB tether in access point mode. You can only use it in router mode. So let me go ahead and quickly check the speed test. There, it's working. Alright, so that is it. We have just covered 5 modes. I will try to put a timestamp. I'm new to YouTube, so I have no idea how that works, but I'll try. Or else I will put the timestamp in description so you can go to specific time to get what you want, whichever mode you like. So that's all. Thank you for watching this video, and do subscribe, like and share my channel. It takes a lot of effort to make these videos, as you know. So you have a great day. Bye bye.